Beep, 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 beep. Hello, welcome to the court of the Edijester. Why is it still cold? How are you, folks? How you diddly doing? I've been having a mess about. Look. See there? Look. Fossil. Saber-tooth. Devilish skull. I'm just waiting for a jester master. You know, one of those classic sort of masquerade. One of those. A jester master arrive. Right, so become a warrior teacher, buy me a coffee, the usual stuff, right? Starting in May. Come on. I need more of you. Lots more of you, for goodness sake. So if you can give us a push, give it a punt, like, subscribe. Yeah, let's go. I've got an article from Spiked Online today, which is still rumbling on about that Scottish nonsense. Scottish law. And it's rather a doozy from the Spiked Online, written by, as I said, Thomas Osborne. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Scotland's Hate Crime Act has only been in force since Monday. And that was the 1st of April, by the way. And already the situation has descended into farce. It's been glorious. It's been absolutely glorious. It's been one thing after another. Police Scotland have been deluged. That's a good word, isn't it? Deluged. Deluged with reports of alleged acts of hatred. Just insane. In the first 24 hours alone, get this, right? In the first 24 hours alone, an astonishing 3,800 so-called hate crimes were reported to the police at a rate of around 60 complaints per hour. This is well above the 790 daily crime reports of all types. So they've just provided themselves with they've still got, 4 times the normal crime reporting. 5 even. Closer, isn't it? 5. What the hell is going on? How much do you reckon that cost? Let's do some sums. What do you think? How much do you reckon it costs? The poor police. Right, the police aren't the problem, by the way. Right, it's Humza Yousaf, that poison dwarf that's gone, and the nutters that you've got running your country up in Scotland. We buddy Scotland. So, given that Police Scotland have pledged to investigate every single report of hate, it is surely only a matter of time before they are completely overwhelmed. So who exactly is responsible for stirring up all this alleged hatred? A police insider has told The Sun that one of the most complained about hate criminals so far has been none other than Humza Yousaf. Yes. The First Minister of Scotland himself, Humza Yousaf, a known scooter fumbler. Scots have clearly had a great deal of fun alerting police to an infamous speech he gave to the Scottish Parliament in 2020 in which he ranted angrily about Scotland being too white. People are insane. I think he's 96% white. It's too white up here. Who do you think voted for you, you useless twazzock? Yousaf is not the only SNP figure to have been tangled up in the new hate crime law either. Earlier today, Siobhan Brown, the Community Safety Minister, that's like something straight out of Brazil, isn't it? Brazil! So many of you are going, what does he mean Brazil? The country? The film by Terry Gilliam, all right? With terrorist plumbers. It's brilliant. Right. Siobhan Brown, the Community Safety Minister in charge of the Hate Crime Act's rollout, told BBC Radio's Good Morning Scotland that someone had made a fake hate crime report under her name. She was surprised, she said, to get a call from the police, who were obliged to follow up on it. Has there ever been a greater example in history of something coming back to bite you in the bum in the shortest space of time? Siobhan Brown, that's her name, has blamed a flood of fake and vexatious complaints on misinformation and hysteria coming from opponents of the law. But what else did she expect? The wording of the Hate Crime Act is so vague and subjective that it is clearly open to abuse, trolling, or plain old misunderstanding. As of this week, most Scots have no idea what speech could fall foul of the law. It hasn't helped the police, and Scotland's own publicity states that deciding what is hateful comes down to an individual's perception. This is insanity. So, what you aggrieved about? Oh, I don't know, pick something. Pick something. All right, let's do some of that GI. Is it gender identity they call it, don't they? Let's do some of that. right? What do you want me to do? Find somebody who thinks trans women are men and then poke them until they speak. Right, I'll back in an hour. Hour later. Did you find somebody? Yeah, I have. They were in the pub. What's their name? What are you going to do now? Let's call the police. It's just absolutely insane. Siobhan Brown yesterday was unable to say with any great certainty whether J.K. Rowling would be prosecuted for misgendering trans people under the Hate Crime Act. It took Police Scotland the best part of 2 days to confirm that the Harry Potter author would in fact not be dragged away in handcuffs for expressing her belief in biological sex. The fact that this was even a possibility should be enough to expose the insanity of the law. I mean, this is obviously flavour of the month at the moment, isn't it? It's the beginning of April, flavour of the month. This is the big thing right now, okay? Is this hate speech law. It's simple. I said it the other day in one of my moles. It all has to go. All of it. All of it. We have to shrink the state. We've got to get them out of people's houses, get them out of their minds, get them out of their speech codes. We need to shrink the state and neuter it so it doesn't grow this large again, because this is an interference in people's lives that is absolutely unacceptable. There is no reason to stop people from speaking unless the usual fire in a theatre or stirring up violence. Violence meaning physical attacks. So somebody said to me the other day, I was harmed by what you said. This was in the middle of a chip shop when some lunatic trans ally and their LARPing woman had attacked me. And I said, I'm sorry, what do you mean? What? I don't want to have this chat. I just want to get me fish and chips, cod and chips once, please. Do you mind? You hateful man, you've harmed my husband. That's not a bloke. You've harmed how have I harmed? Do I need to call an ambulance? Now, if somebody says to you, I'm harmed by something, if there's no ambulance involved, they're not harmed, right? If they're harmed physically and there's no ambulance involved, they've probably got a first aid kit they should visit. Words do not harm, okay? It all has to stop. All of it. Get rid of a lot of the hate crime nonsense. It all is absolute rubbish of the first order. But that's what I think. Go and have a look at the Spiked article. There's more of this coming. You know it as well as I do. It's just going to get worse and worse. But they're all mad. What have you got? Scotland, what have you done? Let this lunatic in charge. And you know what the worst thing about it is? They're going to vote Labour in and it's going to get even worse. That's what's going to happen. It's just madness. Absolute madness. But we'll see, all right? Go on, go and do something else. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.